Yeah, what do you say about people about whom nothing is written, nothing is known, other than they were apostles, as we have heard. Jesus chose them. It kind of reminded me of a clip in the movie The Man for All Seasons. Thomas More is talking to a young man who just finished his studies in law and was looking for someone that would introduce him to the higher state of affairs, to higher offices. And since Thomas More was the Lord Chancellor, this man named Richard Rich sought him out. Somehow Thomas More, being a tremendously righteous, saintly person, must have caught his attention. So he wanted to desperately work for him and under his tutelage, and through him then get into these very desirable positions of power, public affairs of the state. But unfortunately, Thomas More saw right through his ambition. And he said, "Richard, be a teacher. You will be a good one." Because he was afraid that the affairs of state and the power and all that was too much for Richard Rich to handle, and at the same time to remain honest, loyal, and virtuous. And then comes the great response of Richard Rich. When Thomas More told him, "Be a teacher and you will be a good one," he says, "Well, who would know?" "God," Thomas More answers. "Not a bad public, that." That wasn't, unfortunately, enough for Richard Rich, so he did enter politics some other ways. Actually, he became the traitor. He became the one who, by his perjury, sent Thomas More to the gallows. But what I want to focus on briefly, as we are talking about two apostles who are not so well known, who was their public? Who was their audience? Who is able to read their letters to this day? Where are they proclaimed? In what churches? Whatever they preached, who hears it today? God. And that was enough for them. And so maybe we can take a great example from these two lesser-known apostles, because they are no less in the eyes of God than the glorious St. Paul or St. Peter or St. John. But it has pleased God that these two would serve him in a way that we, most of us, will serve him all our lives, in that hidden way, known and seen to God alone.